Welcome back to part 2 of my summer cake party. Let me show you the rest of the prep that I did for hosting 40 people for a cake party in my house, which I do annually. If you haven't seen part 1, it's on my page on the previous post. Go back and check that out and then watch this. So the day before, I had to assemble all of the cakes, decorate everything so that I had it all ready. This is my raspberry cake, which actually on my website is down as my strawberry cake, but you can swap the strawberries for raspberries. I've made this in a tray bake as opposed to a sandwich cake, and I cut out the middle section with a cupcake corer and added homemade raspberry jam into the middle before piping on the cream cheese frosting, which was absolutely delicious, and they look so pretty. Then I spent the best part of my life trying to hold these cherries. Trying to take the stone out of the cherries is so hard. I've seen tips where you use a straw for it, but oh my gosh, it was so much work. And there was just like cherry juice everywhere in my kitchen. But I managed to do around about 200 grams and I turned that into a cherry compote for my Black Forest cake. Next up, I'm decorating my lemon love cakes. So on my website, this is down as a lemon drizzle cake, but I've been told recently that lemon drizzle cake doesn't incorporate lemon into the actual mixture. It just has a drizzle of lemon on top. And I was just like, that's so disappointing. So these are not lemon drizzle cakes. These are lemon love cakes because there's so much lemon in them. But I just decorated those, let them dry and covered them for the following day. Okay, so in the last video I told you about my cake fails. Well, one of the cakes that I was going to use as my passion fruit cake, it failed because it sank in the middle. So I cut the top off and I used the base and made a different cake. I basically added my raspberry jam, homemade raspberry jam to it. Then I topped it with some chantilly cream. And then the failed pavlova, I crushed that up and added some ruby chocolate that I had left over. And then I decorated this cake with the pavlova in little meringue bits, and I turned it into an eat and mess cake because it doesn't need to look perfect. An eat and mess is a mess. So this literally was the best save I've ever done in a long time anyway. And then I just topped it with loads of fruit, and I had some of this ready-made like compote, like berry compote, which I poured over the top. Oh my God, my best friend loved this one. So listen, your fails don't always have to be fails. You can turn them into wins. Next, I decorated my Black Forest cake. This is a chocolate sponge. The chocolate sponge is the best chocolate sponge you'll ever need. And then I topped it with a homemade chocolate ganache because I really like milk chocolate with my Black Forest, even though it's supposed to be with dark chocolate. Then a little bit of chantilly cream, the cherry compote that I made, and fresh cherries and a little bit of dark chocolate shavings. Honestly, this was to die for, as everyone tells me, because I never got to try it. Extra, I'm hosting a cake party tomorrow at my house, and I have a theme for it. It's called the Summer Cake Party. So I'm doing like really summery things, summery flavours. And basically I bought all of these like bowls to basically feed into the summer theme. Raspberry jam going in here. So good. And then I bought this like strawberry glass because I was like, why not be extra and put your strawberry jam in a wine glass? And this is practical decor. I think I'm just trying to convince myself about the extra money I spent because I just wanted things to look pretty. I got all these bowls from Flying Tiger, just if you're interested. But the strawberry glass I think I got from Asda. Next, I decorated the birthday boy's cake, 83 years young. Mashallah, I added some spray carnations, some passion fruits, a little bit of passion fruit coulis, which is shop bought. I didn't make that. I made the curd though. And some thyme flowers from my garden, which I love adding to cakes because it just makes them look so pretty. Then I made stuffed croissants. These are frozen croissants that I baked the day before, and whilst they were baking I put my mango milkshake, which is also homemade, into an ice cream mold and some frozen grapes for the drinks. As my croissants cooled, I did my flower arrangement. I've seen all over TikTok and Instagram these influencers doing these tablescapes with beautiful flowers in fruit, and I just thought this was such a cool idea. It looks really, really good. So I did that, and then I decorated my fruit using the cups and teacups and things that I had in my house. I then went back to fill the croissants once they'd cooled. I did half of them with pistachio cream and chantilly cream, and the other half with hazelnut spread and chantilly cream and hazelnuts on top. They went down a treat. Absolutely beautiful. Let me know if you want a slower, like, step-by-step recipe for this and how I did it. Okay, it's the morning of the actual event. In the morning, I made granola pots. Can't make these the night before; they just go soggy. So I got some dairy-free coconut yogurt. I have some granola, and I topped it with a little bit of fruit in each one and mini spoons. And that was jobs a good one because they were for my dairy-free guests. And then I did my entire setup. I will show you a slow down version of this maybe in my next video. Let's see, but it might turn it into a 4-part video. But this was my setup, and honestly, I couldn't be happier. I've got a big pot of chai on the hob, ready for my guests, and the decor has turned out exactly how I imagined it in my head, if not better. I was so pleased with the outcome. Alhamdulillah that I'm able to do this. Everything was delicious, I think. I didn't eat everything, but I'm hoping it was. But even the fails, I turned into wins. I learned a lot along the way, and I just want to share this with you guys because you guys can do this too. You just need to be organised and prepped. The scones that you see at the bottom of that tea stand, my friend made for me, who was coming to the party as well. And then I used fruit to fill in the gaps and spaces on the table and make it look delicious and beautiful. Follow me for part 3 for my guests' reactions.